Pre-purchasing no-nos, those that we wanted to itemize for you and tell you how we can do that.
Because we want you to get into your home. So before we get into that, let's hit it. Hi, this is Alan Victoria. Welcome to our channel.
And if this is your first time in our channel and you wanted to know everything about Greenville, North Carolina, we are here for you. Subscribe in our channels and get notified, and also gives us thumbs up. And thank you.
Honestly, we get calls, texts, and emails all the time from people looking to move, shift. I love shifting. Relocate to Greenville. So don't be shy. We love helping people, and we are here to help you with all of your moving needs here in Greenville, North Carolina, and the surrounding area. Okay, so now I think it's time to get into our major topic of today. No?
Yes, exactly. Then we want to talk about, you are now wanted to purchase, but before purchasing your house or your dream house, you wanted to make sure that you don't do these things that we're gonna list for you. Specifically,
right.
How
because
many?
If you want to get into a mortgage, you need to avoid these 6 major things. And 6. So number 1 is no major purchases, and this includes a wedding, which means I cannot just say, hey, Al, let's go get married again and spend $1 million. I know that sounds so much fun, right? You're all invited to that too, by the way. $1 million to a wedding again, just because it'll be fun. Can we do that if we're buying another home?
No, we cannot. Basically, we wanted to not focus on very expensive material, equipment, electrical equipment, appliances, or even fancy furnitures or fancy vacations.
Oh, that's why you made me move into a brand new house with nothing in it, and I just had to order my furniture after? Okay. Number 2 is now we have to do your work history. If you are working, you're going to need 2 years of work history in general. You're going to have W-2s if you're a W-2 employee. And if you are like us, or like me for a long time, a 1099, which means self-employed, that means you need to have 2 years of tax credit usually. So,
and that is a part you might put yourself in danger, specifically those that, like us, 1099. And it happens often that many people that have their own business or self-employed, they put too much.
We don't want to pay taxes, right? We hate paying taxes.
Exactly.
So we're going to take all of our deductions. The problem with deductions is what?
Is basically you minimize your net income. That is the risk comes to the play.
Right. So if I'm buying a house and I've minimized my income to as many as I can legally,
yes.
Now it's saying that I do not qualify for a mortgage. So there is a downside to minimizing all of your income. So to avoid those taxes now means you can't afford a house necessarily. So pay attention to that. What is another one?
Therefore, that was number 2.
Right?
Okay. Number 3 that we wanted to talk about is most of the lenders, they look at the history of your movement. Therefore, they're looking at the addresses you lived in 2 to 5 years and see that how you relocated to the different place or shifted, no?
Shifted, I like shifted. Okay, what that means is that I can't move around every month or 2 months. Now, if you've moved once or twice in a normal, like your yearly lease was up and you moved, or you sold and bought once, it's fine. That's not going to be a problem. It's looking for consistent moving. This is a problem if it's consistently moving and not having a home address. Of course, there's a reason like, the military.
Therefore, that was our number 3, no?
Yes, number 3.
And then we're going to go to the number 4. Ooh. Therefore, when you basically, bank is going to review your application, and the bank wanted to give you the pre-approval. Basically, bank looking for 2 items that is important. One is the down payment, and the second one is what?
Closing costs.
So
they're talking about money at this point.
Yep.
And it means you have to know where the money comes from. And if you know where the money comes from, well then, that's a different story. If it's all the same W-2 weekly check, that's completely fine income. But if you're in a cash-only business, you should be making regular deposits into your account, which means if I'm putting regular deposits into my account, now I can say that I'm what? I now have the money to afford what I'm trying to pay. because now I have a paper trail, and a paper trail is super important. Anything else?
Therefore, basically, bank looking you to provide this source of the income in closing your checking and saving account. And also, sometimes you can show, beside of that, what you can show, you can say the mutual funds that you can show, you can give them the statement of your stock or certificate of the deposit, or what?
Your retirement account,
money or market the money market funds. You can
my stocks is good.
Yeah.
You said that? Okay.
For you can provide all this for the extra, no?
Right. So you can prove where your money comes from, and that's fine. Just no mysterious funds can show up, and nobody can follow the money.
Therefore, the problem is here. If, for example, which is our number 4, if you are moving or withdrawing or depositing within your account a big amount of money, and that's the problem comes. What is the problem is?
The problem is the tracing of the money. So again, there's laws so people don't break the law, but we have to be able to make sure that the money is yours and only yours. And there's no crazy large sums of money that can't be accounted for. That's just, we have to make sure that that's the law when it comes to mortgages, or the banks do. And then we just get the letter and then we take you shopping. That's what I like to do.
Therefore, the banker really, or the mortgage broker in the bank really looking at this process and see you have the trail of this withdrawn and deposit, because if not, it makes it difficult for them, especially for underwriter, no? Because the underwriter is the human being, is not a computer program, which basically goes through all these details and make sure you are qualified and less risk for the bank.
Right. So the last one I think is about jobs. And can you switch your job?
Well, that's a good question that every time so often they're asking us, our clients, and the answer is, if you are moving
the answer is
from
maybe, right?
Maybe. If you're moving from a job that basically in line with your previous job, you are less risk for the bank.
Right.
Because
you're just going for more money or going for the promotion or whatever. Totally fine. Everybody does it. We want you to get as much as you can and live the best life that you can. Everybody does. And it's good for the bank as long as you're staying in line, in the same field.
Therefore, the message here is changing job is okay. And for those people that they get more money, as my wife said, that is even better, because now the bank look at it as, okay, this person even making more money that he was making or she was making in the previous job.
So I can switch my jobs. What happens if I'm commissioned though?
Okay, this is another thing that if you are commissioned, what we should do?
I should have 2 years of stable income, no?
Exactly. You should have 2 years, like others, W-2 and 1099. You should show it.
Right. Also, bonuses typically don't count unless it's like a traditional every year. Again, they look at the past in order to say this counts for the future. So those are our major 5. Now we're going to number 6, right?
Therefore,
which is, I think,
what about the part-time? If I have a part-time job.
Isn't that number 6?
We can say it as a number 6.
I thought it was number 6, part-time.
Yeah, if you have a part-time job, what's going to happen?
It can count as long as, again, you have that history. Nobody expects you to work 1 million hours in a week. That's not what we're saying. It just means that we're looking at what you do in the past. So if you start a new job on Monday and apply for a loan on Tuesday, you're probably not going to be able to count that income you just started on Monday. Now, if you worked at that job for 6 months, you can probably start counting it. 6 months sounds like a reasonable number?
Yeah.
So it just depends. So part-time work can count. Also, bonus basis we were talking about before. So say you work as, a teacher and you get a yearly bonus. Now, if it's just a one-time yearly bonus, it doesn't count. If it's every year everybody gets a bonus, then yes, of course it counts. So it just depends on the bonus.
Because the way the banker works, really, they averaging it during that length, for example, 12 months. And this is how they calculate your ability to pay the mortgage back to the bank. Therefore, this is the risk for the bank. And about the part-time job, basically also is important, because we know that people that have part-time job, they might not get constant 40 hours a week like a normal employees that they go to the job. But important is you don't quit your job, no?
Correct. You stay in the job until after you're in the house.
Once
you're in the house and you are closed and those keys are in your hand because you now own the place, it's your life to live, as it always was. And
Deborah, do you want to add anything?
No, I think we're done. No, it's an amazing conversation. I hope we helped. And if you found this information useful,
cool. Please subscribe in our channel and give us a thumbs up. And also, what do you want to add?
Call us. We get these calls all the time, and we love helping people, and that's kind of what we do. And we don't think we're mean people. We're nice people. So talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys, and talk to you soon. Bye.